Gentlemen, we went over the dressing room. We went over the rules in the dressing room. Keep it clean. Set yourself it all firm. Let's do this.
Celestino Ruiz wants them to touch him up. And they do. Joe Tessitore alongside two-division world champion Timothy Bradley and Mark Kriegel ringside. All the talk is done. It's time to fight. Benavides, Crawford, WBO welterweight championship of the world.
See both guys right now trying to figure the range out, the speed, the distance.
See how much taller Benavides is. He is not, however, longer than Bud Crawford.
No, not as far as arm reach goes.
I always find that fascinating with Bud, his ability to get around, especially with that looping right hand. Remember, he will switch stances. Benavides no stranger to that as well. He opens up orthodox to start this evening.
See Crawford right away moving, trying to create things with his feet, using his jab in spurts. Benavides is stocking right now with a strong, stiff jab.
Remember, they're two natural counterpunchers, and I have to think that was some of the purpose behind Benavides egging him on and antagonizing the way he did. He wants Crawford to come forward and attack.
Crawford giving him a smile and a little nod of the head when he went with that jab to the body. Benavides tried to catch him with that left hand as he came forward, and now drops his guard and pumps defensively for a moment.
Benavides showing right away that he's not scared of Terrence Crawford. He's stalking him, getting Terrence Crawford on his bicycle.
Benavides not just the height, but naturally the bigger man who walks around significantly north of where he fights at. He checked in at what I found to be a surprising 145 pounds now.
He's a natural welterweight since adolescence, and he's fought as high as 54.
Now the switch in stance from Crawford.
Benavides right there landed two jabs on Crawford. Crawford trying to step in and counterpunch, but you see it's a little difficult. Benavides is controlling the outside range with that jab while he's stocking.
Tim, you like the early work with that jab of Benavides.
He's going to have to out-jab Terrence Crawford. The jab is what sets up everything for Terrence Crawford.
And then Crawford sitting on top with that now southpaw right jab as he comes in with a straight left to the body that scores here.
I have to agree with you, Mark, on that. He does, but I like what I'm seeing right now from Benavides. He got Crawford kind of tentative and not committing right away. Crawford, most of the time, likes to commit after that jab, and Benavides is standing his ground and not allowing him to commit with anything after his jab.
And just for the layman out there, Tim, when you say commit with the jab, the natural counter-punching to fire it off. Fire comes at you, you come over with the counter-punch that matches up.
Absolutely, and that's how you need to do it. But Benavides is keeping him honest with his footwork, taking a half a step back like that, and he's also firing back with his jab, making Terrence Crawford tentative to fire the left hand.
Got to give Terrence a little time, Tim.
There he is.
And there he goes to the body. It was a left hand to the body from Crawford. Benavides shakes it off. He says, isn't anything.
Crawford has extreme concentration. He can concentrate for 36 minutes and figure it out in there.
I'm taking with Benavides' confidence. He's never fought in a fight like this. He's never fought an opponent this good. And you can tell he believes he's supposed to be here. He says Terrence Crawford ducked him. I don't find any evidence of that. But in boxing, the imagined slights are usually more important than the real ones.
Terrence Crawford right now trying to get his jab working and trying to pick up the pace on Benavides. Terrence Crawford coming around the guard there. Benavidez has a tendency of going to that peekaboo, that shell defense. And Crawford coming around the elbow of Benavidez to land that body shot.
Tim, can Crawford also come off the jab and shoot a straight left hand?
He definitely can, but he has to be careful because Benavidez, like I said, is a great counterpuncher. He has a good right hand.
Doubles up the right hand that time, does Crawford. There he works his way to the inside and included yet another body punch. This is a good-looking third round for Bud Crawford.
I think the information is downloaded now, Tim.
Seems that way, doesn't it, Mark?
But you see that right knee of Benavidez pulling straight back, getting caught with those combinations and putting those earmuffs on. That's target practice for a guy like Terrence Crawford.
The right knee is the knee that was shot. A bullet went through the femoral artery. It fractured the bone. And according to people who have worked in the Benavidez camp, Alex Ariza is former strength and conditioning coach. That knee is not yet ready for an opponent like Terrence Crawford.
Absolutely, it's not. It's not ready.
If Benavidez concedes, it will never be 100%. The question is this the right time to take the fight?
Bomac, it seems that Terrence is getting his rhythm here. What did you tell him? What do you want for round 4?
I told him to keep his hands up and go behind that double jab because Benavidez will catch the first jab, but he won't catch the second jab. After you throw the second jab, he'll try to cover up. You can get closer to him. So after you get closer to him, then you start going to the body, come back up to the head.
Say anything about the power of Benavidez?
No, ain't no power. He ain't got no power.
Thank you very much.
Now Bud just shook off a little taste of that power and stuck out his tongue at Benavidez. And it's an interesting and dynamic relationship between Bomac and Terrence Crawford.
Well, about 30 seconds ago, Benavidez landed some clean right hands. He landed
sure
3 in a row. Bud Crawford trying to come in behind the jab, got caught coming straight down the middle on the way in with the right hand of Benavidez.
And you said, watch out for that right hand. Tried to go to the body there, Bud went up top. Now he comes sweeping across that belt line and came up short.
This is high-level prize fighting right here. These guys are at mid-distance range, exchanging shots, going back and forth, offense and defense by both of these guys.
And look at the feet. Crawford's getting his right foot outside Benavidez' left.
And that is always critical when you watch the southpaw against the orthodox. Take note of that front foot of Bud Crawford. If he gets that outside position, and now all of a sudden there's a switch to southpaw with Benavidez. But that prime position, watch for it here.
All right, Jose. Third round was good for Crawford. Fourth round, what worked for Jose Jr.?
I think all the round Junior is getting him. I don't know what you've seen in the third round. I think he's boxing him beautiful. You know, he's making miss. You know, he can't feel the punch. And look, he's getting hit. Look at that, you know. But, of course, you got to go with the crowd, whatever you guys say. But I think he's doing really beautiful. He's going to the body. He's catching him with those straight right hands. Look at that. How can you tell me that? Look. But, of course, you know, you're in his hometown. Everybody, every time he touches a little bit, people makes it seem like it's big. But when he gets touched, nobody says nothing. It's like everybody's dead. But we're doing good. We're so happy. We got to maintain that jab. We got to try to go a little bit more straight punches to the body and make him get frustrated. You know, the good thing about this guy, he's not running, you know. That makes it easy. Maybe because Junior is not following him, you know. So hopefully he can keep like that. I think that's we're happy with everything that we're seeing right now.
Thank you very much. You got a good read on how the situation is going.
Sure did. And not running makes a good night for you, the viewer, and these fans here. And by the way, in terms of the way the crowd reacts, they very much knew what they were getting themselves into, so much so to the point that Jose Jr. said, hey, this fight's not going a distance. I can't let that happen here in his hometown.
A little politicking by Jose Sr. there. Although, I think this has been an excellent round so far for Junior. And that right hand was a decisive blow in the previous round, the right hand to the body. It definitely hurt Crawford right as he was establishing a rhythm.
And then really let his hands go in the opening moments of this fifth round, Sam.
He did let his hands go. Crawford had his hands up. He blocked most of those punches. But Crawford right now is bringing his attention down to the body of Benavidez and having success over the top with the right hook and occasional left hand when Benavides try to pull out.
Let's look at the CompuBox numbers as they're being tallied tonight. Total power punches. Remember, we mentioned the percentage of Crawford typically at 48%. He's tracking at 39% right now. Benavides a tick lower at 38%. Competitive fight.
You mentioned, Joe, that this is more than most people imagine from Jose Benavides, but it's not more than Jose Benavides imagined as a kid when he was sparring with Manny Pacquiao, Amir Khan, Shane Mosley. He was 16, 17 years old. And he was the prodigy he was supposed to be the prodigy of this division.
Just pause and think about that for a moment. He was sparring Manny Pacquiao at 16 years old.
He even sparred me.
What was that like, Tim?
You know, like I said, he's a great counterpuncher. He'll wait on you. He'll use that jab occasionally, but he'll wait on you and he'll fire some combinations back at you. Great counterpuncher. And he has good speed.
But his sense of himself as a fighter was based on those sparring sessions. He's never been in with anyone like that except for when he was a kid.
Interesting moment right there as Bud came in and then the right hand came in at a downward angle. Good exchange right in the center of the ring.
And there's a difficulty basing your sense of yourself on sparring, also something that happened almost a decade ago.
Right now, Benavides is having some success.
He is with that right hand, Tim.
Straight right hand, and also, like the champ said, he's catching Crawford on the way out. Crawford had a tendency of doing so, getting off and coming right back.
Three-punch combination moments ago by Crawford that spiked this crowd here. You saw him double up that left hand. Now he gets right into the kitchen of Benavides. And he let him go again. This has been a good round here. Round number 6. Three-punch combination and another right hand to the body from Bud Crawford.
Pick him up, pick him up, pick him up.
And now, as Andre Ward said, this is when it really happens. In fact, let's bring in the scorecard of the former two-division world champion. As Ward has it 58-56 for Crawford.
Crawford right now controlling the outside. That's why he's able to land these shots. Benavides has nowhere to go but back, while Crawford controlling the lead foot, getting outside of the left foot of Benavides.
And that gives him position to do just that.
Yes.
To land the straight left hand. He has had so much success already with the right hand to that left flank of Benavides.
It looks like Benavides has less.
Well, at this point, all the body shots that Terrence Crawford has landed is definitely doing this, making the toe and doing his toe and doing what it's supposed to do.
Bernardo has been monitoring both corners. What can you tell us, Bernie?
Well, Benavides is doing exactly what his father doesn't want him to do. He wanted him to use a jab in this round, to not step straight back, to be more active. And Bomac called it the round before. He said, I see Benavides breathing hard, and I think Bud is in a great place.
He came in, and Bud came at him. Final 30 seconds here of round 7.
You see there's no jab. Now Benavides is willing to cover up right in front of Terrence Crawford. That's a huge mistake.
He's tired.
He is tired.
And if you do that, you're going to have offense coming right at you.
I don't see the same brio, the same confidence, the same type of willingness to attack from Benavides that I did earlier in the fight.
Covering up like that doesn't work out so well when you're in with a pound-for-pound great.
You become an instant punching bag. But you see the fundamentals of Terrence Crawford
CompuBox numbers, you see them now, and you see the advantage that Crawford is starting to put together. Total punches outlanding him 93 to 63, and that gap looks like it's going to continue here.
He still punched though.
Oh, you better believe it. You always have a chance in this game. Benavides comes in tonight with 18 knockouts among his 27 wins. Trying to put that right hand to the body against Crawford. Remember, he had success earlier tonight with that right hand to the body.
That's the bolo shot Benavides is trying to land.
Goes low, and then it sweeps across. Crawford, three-punch exchange, including a left hand that splits the guard of Benavides.
And of course, Benavides shakes his head.
Once again, Benavides put those earmuffs on.
You know, Benavides obviously had a lot to prove tonight. But Crawford, this is his second fight at 147. He's still proven, if not to himself, then the rest of the division, you give me a big guy, I can handle it.
Benavides really just stalking right in front of Crawford. Now he tries to put a combination together, and Crawford did the smart thing by stepping in, bodying up, and tying up Benavides.
Angelo trying to pop that jab off the hip.
I think he's pretty much made a concession that the way to win this fight, in answer to Joe's question, is that right hand coming in.
Every single time Benavides put those earmuffs on, Terrence Crawford takes advantage of that. He worked those hands. Not a lot of shots landing, but he lands when he goes down to the body. He comes around the elbows of Benavides.
Andre Ward with an even 6th round, but still Crawford up 78-74. Many ringside have it 5 rounds to 3. Crawford.
Look at the beautiful work by Crawford, changing levels, going downstairs to be able to land some combinations up top like that. Right hook right there, and spinning around on the angle and not get hit. Benavides right now is a little frustrated, I think. He's trying to catch up. Terrence Crawford is not cooperating.
He can't match his legs. He can't match the feet.
Look at the feet. How he just got out of range right there. Angles out right there. Terrence Crawford.
He made a point before, that jab looks good when he throws it, but he's taking rounds off from that jab.
Honestly, it's the knee. I believe it's the knee. Nice shot right there from Benavides, catching Crawford as he pulls straight back.
A knee that just over 2 years ago was nearly destroyed by a bullet. There were doctors who gave him very little chance to ever return to the ring.
Well, it makes him one-dimensional. It makes him immobile. You know, he really can't move back. He pulls straight back.
You know, I spent 2 months investigating that shooting. And nobody gets shot right above the knee, walking his dog. Actually, it was a cat, too. It was an exotic $10,000 cat at midnight in Phoenix. Someone targeted him, and he knows it. Just doesn't know who.
Right now he's got to worry about being targeted by Bud Crawford, who's stepping right to him as he covers up against the ropes, and Crawford's going to have some options. Places a right hand to the body. Probing now with a body shot again. Says, come at me. Got to be willing to fire back, though.
You got macho stuff on the ropes ain't going to help him in this fight.
Right now, he's looking to time Terrence Crawford with a right hand. You see him throw the right hand he tried as Terrence Crawford went back. But Crawford recognizing that and blocked it.
Terrence didn't give him the opportunity.
Smart fighter.
World-class fighter. Master craftsman. Another check in what the corners are saying. Here's Bernardo.
All right, in the corner of Terrence Crawford, it wasn't Bomac with the instructions. Miss Deborah looked at Bud Crawford, said, Bud, can you hear me? He looked over, he said, last round, finish this.
So Mom is getting involved.
Mom's always involved.
Isn't that the truth?
Step back, watch your head, guys. Box.
Well, you see the inconsistency of Benavidez's attack. He's standing right in front of Terrence Crawford right now, not really using his jab. I want to see Terrence Crawford turn it up a little bit more on Benavidez. He's there to be hit. Nice stinging body shot right there from Crawford.
Put that left hand right to the body. He wants to try to draw him in again. Wasn't successful earlier in doing so. Let's see what Benavidez comes up with here as Crawford looks to unload. Pushes him back. A right hand came with it from Benavidez.
This is exactly what Crawford needs to do. He needs to stay close, work the body, block and counter.
Benavidez with an offensive output. Crawford comes right back. Short left hook from Benavidez. Look at the power punches now. Crawford comes into this round having landed 100 of 238 thrown. And that percentage now moves north to 42%.
We've talked before about Crawford basically torturing guys who've antagonized him, who've made it personal. He's not keeping Benavidez around because he wants to hurt him. It's Benavidez' chin that's keeping him up.
Chin in the heart. Chin in the heart of Benavidez.
Notice that the two greatest fighters in the world, Terrence Crawford and Vasily Lomachenko, beat bigger guys with their feet.
Feet that are underneath great skill, that get them in and out. They dart, they dodge, they create offense, and they provide elite defense. As now Benavidez looks to wrap up for a moment as Crawford came in.
Step back, step back, step back, step back.
And Ruiz will separate them here. Maybe looking at a go for broke 12th round from the undefeated challenger as Crawford brings it a little bit. Crowd on their feet here in Omaha. They love the finish that they want to see.
Crawford doing a good job and recognizing that Benavidez is trying to counterpunch everything he does. So what he doing? He's sweeping with the check, right hook, and turning Benavidez in spots.
How much does Benavidez want it?
Well, if he wants to be the champion he always saw himself as, the champion he was told he would become, he's got to sell out right now.
Got to risk everything, right, Tim?
Got to go for it. And he is. He's trying. He's trying to stop Terrence and put combinations together to the head and body.
But where is that body shot we saw in the 4th round? Never came back with that.
Yeah.
It was the right hand that he landed then. Been absent since.
Crawford's always going to be smart and always concentrated. Every single round. And he's showing that he's more fundamentally sound than Benavidez.
Miles ahead.
I don't think Benavidez has done himself a disservice.
And not at all. Not at all. First half of this fight, highly competitive.
Crawford got him backed up now.
Final minute. Crawford in front of home fans.
Sitting on the ropes and shaking his head is not how he wants to end this fight, however.
Oh! Crawford gets him! My, oh my! What a shot! Half a minute to finish him awaits. Let's see how he goes about it. Best in the world. At home. Is he the finisher they all expect him to be? He is. What a huge right hand, and he has done it.
With an official time of 2 minutes, 42 seconds of the 12th and final round. Declaring the winner by way of technical knockout, still the undefeated WBO welterweight champion of the world, Oman.